Do you know there are words in your Bible that were never meant for the eyes of the crowd? Words hidden in plain sight, spoken by the Lord Himself, yet veiled so only a chosen few would ever understand. I can almost hear you whisper, "How is that possible?" Oh, my friend, once you see it, you will never read the Gospels the same way again. I still remember the first time it struck me. I was sitting alone in the quiet of my study, the lamp casting long shadows across the open pages of Matthew 13. I'd read these parables 1,000 times, heard them preached in church after church, and yet something felt off. Not wrong, but incomplete. Like there was a layer beneath the layer, a voice beneath the words. And then I saw it. Jesus was hiding codes. Not codes for military strategy, not codes for secret societies, but codes for the soul, for those prepared to awaken. Oh, this realization hit me like a thunderclap in my spirit. Why would He do this? Why speak in riddles, in stories, instead of plain instruction? I turned my eyes to verse 11, where Jesus says to His disciples, "To you it has been given to know the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it has not been given." There it was, clear as crystal. He was giving and withholding at the same time. The parables were a sorting mechanism, my friend. Those who only wanted stories got stories. Those who wanted truth with a capital T found keys to a kingdom no eye could see. Take the parable of the sower. All my life I'd been told it was about good Christians sharing the gospel, with some people accepting and others rejecting it. And yes, that's the Sunday school answer. But the moment I read it through the lens of His secret intent, my entire being trembled. You are not just the sower in this story. You are also the seed, and you are every soil. The rocky ground, that's the part of your heart hardened by disappointments and fear. The thorns, those are the voices of the world choking the whisper of God in you. The path beaten down, that's where past wounds have numbed your soul. And that good soil, oh, that's the awakened heart, the place in you that remembers you're more than flesh and bone. You are a child of the Most High. And suddenly it made sense why Jesus would hide this. If the wrong hands, the wrong hearts got hold of this truth too soon, it could be twisted, corrupted, commodified. No, He planted it deep, under layers of story, waiting for the day you would have ears to hear. Do you see it yet? Do you feel the weight of it? These are not just bedtime Bible stories. They are living, breathing maps to your spiritual DNA. And once you start decoding them, you can't go back to reading them the old way. I know what you're thinking. Why me? Why now? And I'll tell you, because the Spirit is stirring across the earth again, because deception is thick in the air, and the Father is waking His sons and daughters to stand in the light of His kingdom. And I'm here, not by accident, but because someone watching right now has been praying for a deeper walk, a truer faith, a revelation beyond the surface. But let me warn you, once we open this door, there's no shutting it again. You'll start to see His parables in ways that may unsettle you, thrill you, and even shake you to your core. And yes, it might challenge everything you thought you knew about Christianity. But isn't that why you're still here, still listening? You didn't click on this video for the ordinary. You came for the hidden manna. Stay with me. Oh, you must stay with me, because the next parable we're about to open, the one about the woman and the lost coin, is not about spare change or sentimentality. It's about something you left behind before you ever drew your first breath on this earth. And once you see it, you will understand why Jesus Himself called it worth rejoicing over in heaven. And hey, if you're feeling your heart race right now, if you know you've been led here for a reason, then hit that subscribe button. This channel exists for one purpose, to awaken the bride of Christ to the fullness of her calling. And friend, your journey is just beginning. When you hear the word parable, maybe you think of children's Sunday school, soft illustrations of sheep and shepherds, or a farmer scattering seed. But Jesus, He wasn't telling bedtime stories. He was planting explosives, truth bombs that wouldn't detonate until the right moment in your heart. Let's start with the parable of the sower. On the surface, it's about farming. But listen closer, it's about you. The seed is the word. The soil is your heart. And here's the sting. Not all seed grows. Why? Because the soil has been hardened by life, choked by weeds of distraction, or stripped bare by the enemy before it can even take root. Do you feel that? It's not a cute farm story. It's a diagnosis. It's Jesus looking straight at you and saying, check your soil before the rain comes. Then there's the parable of the hidden treasure. A man finds a treasure in a field, and what does he do? He hides it again, then sells everything to buy the field. Why? Because the treasure wasn't the field was the disguise. The treasure is the kingdom itself. And sometimes God will hide your greatest calling in the most ordinary, overlooked places. The pearl of great price says the same in another way, but here the merchant already knows the value of pearls. This is about the seeker who finally recognizes the one thing worth everything. He doesn't negotiate, he doesn't delay, he sells all. Friend, you will never step fully into God's kingdom with one foot still anchored in the world's comfort. And then the wheat and the tares. Oh, how often we misunderstand this one. We think the weeds in our life, the failures, the critics, the false friends, should be pulled out right away. But the Master says no, let them grow together until the harvest. Why? Because sometimes the roots are intertwined, and in pulling the weeds too soon, you destroy the wheat. God knows how to let both grow until the moment of separation comes. And when it does, the fire will burn away what never belonged to you, and the wheat, your true, refined faith, will remain. And the lamp under the bushel, that's the most confrontational of them all. We think it's about be nice, don't hide your gifts. No, Jesus is warning us. If you keep the light hidden, if you smother it out of fear, the darkness wins. The lamp isn't meant to make you feel good about yourself. It's meant to expose what the darkness hides. And that will make people uncomfortable. It will make enemies. But light was never meant to be safe. Do you see the thread yet? Every parable is a coded invitation to transformation. They start as a story you hear, but they end as a mirror you can't unsee. And here's the thing. Jesus never forced anyone to understand them. He'd tell the story, let it hang in the air, and walk away. The crowds would murmur, shrug, and go home. But the disciples, the ones who stayed behind asking, explain it to us, they were given the keys to the secrets of the kingdom. And that's the same test today. The parables sift the crowd, they separate the curious from the committed. They reveal who is content with surface-level religion and who is desperate enough to dig for the treasure beneath. Because once you see it, once you hear his voice between the lines, you realize these weren't random lessons. They were a map, a coded spiritual map leading you home. And when you finally follow it, and now, here we are. We've walked through the veil together. We've seen how the words of Jesus were never just casual lessons, never just moral tales for children, but living codes etched into the fabric of eternity. And I can feel it. Something in you has shifted. Think of the last parable we touched, the houses built on sand and on rock. For years, I heard it preached as a call to believe in Jesus so your life won't fall apart. True, yes, but shallow. When I read it in the light of the hidden codes, I saw myself as both builders, one chasing the praise of men, stacking brick upon brick on a foundation that could never bear the weight of my calling, and the other, laying every stone on the unshakable truth of who I am in Christ. Oh, what a confrontation that was. And here's the sobering part. Jesus didn't say if the storm comes. He said when. The wind, the rain, the flood, they're coming for every one of us. And these global storms we're seeing, the chaos, the shaking of systems, the fear that grips the nations, they are revealing the foundation of every soul. The ones built on sand are crumbling, but the ones built on the rock, oh, they will stand and they will shine. Do you see the thread now? From the sower to the lost coin, from the hidden treasure to the pearl, from the wheat and the tares to the lamp under the bushel. Every single parable has been speaking the same truth in 100 ways. You are not just here to survive. You are here to awaken. To remember that your true identity is hidden with Christ in God, that you carry in your spirit something so valuable, all of heaven rejoices when it is found, that even the weeds in your life have been permitted to teach you who you really are, that your light was never meant to be hidden, and that your foundation must be Christ himself, not religion, not reputation, not self-made strength. Oh, friend, can you feel the urgency? This isn't theory. This isn't some quaint Bible study. This is life and death. This is the kingdom of heaven breaking in, calling you to shake off the dust, to step out of the crowd, and to walk with the Master on the narrow road where only a few dare to go. And yes, I know, this message will not sit well with everyone. It never did. Even when Jesus spoke these words 2,000 years ago, people walked away confused, offended, or even angry. But those who stayed, those who leaned in and asked, "Explain it to us," they were the ones entrusted with the mysteries. They were the ones who saw him not just as a teacher, but as the Son of the living God. So I have to ask you, which are you? Will you be content with the story on the surface, or will you press in for the meaning beneath the meaning? Will you let the Spirit crack open the hard soil of your heart and plant the seed that will grow into a tree of life? Or will you turn away, choosing the comfort of the familiar over the adventure of the unknown? Oh, I pray you choose the deeper way, because I believe with all my heart that the same Jesus who spoke those words by the Sea of Galilee is speaking to you now in this moment, not through my voice, but through his Spirit. And he's saying, to you, it has been given. You've heard the call, you've glimpsed the code, now you must decide what to do with it. Let it stir you. Let it change you. Let it drive you back to the Gospels with new eyes, hungry for the treasures that have been hidden until now. And remember, this isn't the end of the journey. It's the doorway. The more you listen, the more you'll see. And the more you see, the more you'll realize he's been waiting for you all along. If this has awakened something in your spirit tonight, if you felt that holy fire burn just a little brighter, then don't walk away quietly. Subscribe to this channel, stay close, because I promise you, there are more mysteries to uncover, more parables to decode, more of his voice to hear, and together we will walk this narrow road until the day we see him face to face, because the kingdom is closer than you think.